Hey everyone, it's Ed, Lessons from My Mentors. This one comes from so many mentors and I didn't particularly listen very well, but it's the whole concept of if you don't rest, you will get rest, but it may not be on your terms. So it's really important to take care of yourself. And the reason I finally recorded this is in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've had several of you reach out to me and share kind of the struggles, and I know the struggle. We talk a lot about clinician burnout, which is real and very important, so don't misunderstand where I'm coming from here. But I think we've neglected sort of CIO burnout, or executive burnout probably more broadly, I'm sure, but my tribe, CDOs, CIOs, I know there's burnout happening there. So I take the calls, and I've talked to several of you, and the same thing happened to me. So I almost describe it as PTSD, not to make light of PTSD, because I understand the seriousness. So that may not be the best metaphor, but that's the closest that I can think of. When I think about my time as a CIO and dealing with all the issues that come up, and now it's life and death, right? So you have responsibility that crosses every part of the health system, and it's a heavy weight. And even though I thought I was pretty good at handling stress, I had a few things happen to me, that forced me to rest. And then when I went to serve on the vendor partner side, which I'm so glad I did, and I recommend it for everyone at some point in your career, I realized, man, I'm not ready, nor do I think I ever want to be ready to go back, just to be brutally honest. So I get calls still today, about positions, and the thought, part of me is like, yes, all in, because I love it. But the other part, the realistic part for me, is like, man, Ed, do you remember what it was like? And it was hard. So the reason for this lessons from my mentor and the things that I've learned is just to pass on and just remind everyone, take care of yourself. So I think CIO burnout's a real thing, just like clinician burnout. And we got to stop trying to be heroes and all that kind of stuff. And probably a lot of you are good at that. I wasn't. And so it definitely took a toll. So if you're in the camp that I am, or the calls that I've taken recently, a good thing to do is have a buddy. Like, have someone that you can go to and just share on a regular basis the woes, the hard parts, So that's one. And I'm by no means a therapist. So, if it's at an acute level, that's another thing for mental health. Go see a counselor. So that's another thing. First, take care of yourself, physically, mentally, spiritually. Take rest. The second is seek counsel. So if it's at that level, don't be ashamed, don't be afraid or anything like that. There's no condemnation, there's no shame. So go get counsel. Another practical thing, in addition to all those, is to do a lot of self-reflection and check-ins, and just make sure that, whatever it is, the standard that you want in terms of how you're feeling and how you're coping and things like that, just check in with yourself on a weekly basis. Obviously your spouse or partner can help with that, but it's something, again, it's not I haven't seen it talked about, but I know it's happening because, again, my own experiences, but those that I know about my peers that have been willing to share and confide. And then, like I said, I've been taking calls more acutely lately than in the past. So the message, again, is take care of yourself. Don't try to be the superhero. Don't try to do it all yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid just to reach out to a colleague, mental health professional, whoever you need to reach out to. And then finally, the hard part for me, is the rest part. So I'm getting rest myself. I'm practicing what I preach. So do the same. And I think you'll be better for it. Your organization will be better for it. And again, as I started with, if you dictate the rest, R-E-S-T, if you take rest routinely, take care of yourself, rest won't be forced upon you in a way that you may not like it to be, as I've experienced. And I don't want that for anyone. So take care of yourself, keep fighting the good fight, doing awesome.